Hello and welcome back to Algebra 1 Honors. We are now on lesson 1-1, which are called variables. Okay? First thing you might say to yourself, oh, what is he talking about, variables? We have to actually learn the language of mathematics. A variable is just a symbol used to represent one or more numbers. And the numbers are called values of the variable. An expression that contains a variable such as 2 times h, and I can write it like this, 2 times h, which normally is written like this, 2h, okay? And the reason is sometimes this x here, the multiplication sign, can be mistaken for another variable. So we don't usually write it like this, even though this is a correct way. This is better, less confusion. Okay? An expression that contains a variable such as 2h is called a variable expression. Okay, now if I just had numbers, if I had an expression that looked like this, let's just say it was 4.5 times 2. Okay, if I had one like that, that's called a numeric expression because it only contains numerals, okay? But all of these things, okay, have their certain name. Now, when we talk about variables, I already addressed this, but multiplication can be written in different ways. I could say, if I said 19 times n, I could say it like this. I could say 19 dot right in the middle, n, say it like this. I could say 19 times n like this, okay? Or I could actually say 19 times n like this, okay? But all of these things can be written in the same way. They can all be written like this. 19 n, okay? That's my variable, and we don't know what number it represents. It could represent any number right now, and there's our numeral, okay? Our number. The number named by a numerical expression is called the value of the expression. Okay? So for example, if I say 4 plus 2 and I have 6, both of these, 4 plus 2 is 6 and 6 is 6, both of these are equivalent, they're equal, okay? The number named by a numerical expression is called the value of the expression. So 6, even though this is 4.2, 6 will be called the value of the expression, okay? Now when we write an expression, we many times use what we call an equal sign. We set the values equal to each other. Okay? And our equal sign looks like this. If I said 4.2, my equal sign would be like that, and that means this side is exactly equal. Or it's like being on a teeter-totter. Okay? Both sides are equal. Everybody's going to be in the air, and it's going to be equal, okay? Now sometimes you might get something like this. 4 plus 3, okay, and we know that that's not equal. That's 7, okay? So in this case, this side would be a little bit heavier on our teeter-totter, and this would say 7 does not equal 6, which is actually a true statement, okay? But our equation isn't equal. One side's going to be heavier than the other. And normally when we solve equations, we're looking for values that are equal. Okay? Let's look at a couple examples. Okay, let's look at this one. We're going to try to simplify these. Okay, 42 divided by 6. Plus 8, and then over here we're going to have 54 divided by 8 minus 2. Okay, now, the order of operation always says that we do whatever inside our parentheses first. In this case, we're going to divide 6 into 42, which is 7. And we add them together, and we get 15. Okay, and over here we'll do the same thing. 54, 8 minus 2 is 6, so 54 divided by 6, and the answer to this should be 9. Okay? Now the last thing is, we want you to get used to using variables. And what we're going to do is, they're going to tell you what the variable is. They're going to pick a variable for you, and you're going to put that variable back into an equation and solve it. Okay? And here's how this works. Okay, let's just say that A is going to equal 5. This is my variable A, and the numerical value for A, the new name for A is 5. And they want you to find the answer, the solution, when it's 7 times A, and over here, when it is 3 times A plus 2. Okay, to solve any of these, we take the name for A, which is now 5, and we do the operation. 7A means 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. And over here, we're going to plug in our 5, and we're going to get 3 times 5 plus 2, 15 plus 2 equals 17. Okay? And that's how we actually plug in a variable. Right now, of course, these are pretty elementary problems, and as you go down the line here in math, the problems will get a little more difficult. Let's look at a little more difficult one, our last one for the day, and see how we can solve that one. All right, in this case, I'm going to say that my x value, variable x represents 12, and y is going to represent 9. Okay, now I'm going to write my equation. Okay, my equation is going to be 5x minus 3 plus y. Okay, and they want to know what's the solution if x is 12 and y equals 9. Okay, so my x value is 12, so wherever I have my x, I have to multiply 5 times 12. So 5 times 12, and then I'm going to subtract 3 plus 9, and let's go ahead and do the operator. 5 times 12 is 60, minus 3 plus 9 is 12. So the answer for this problem is 48. And what they're showing you here is, they're showing you how to take a variable, change its name, and enter it into an equation, and solve that equation. All right, well that's it for Lesson 1-1, Variables.